I'm going to give you as much game as possible in this video. And this is a acquisition system that I developed myself to essentially eliminate buying objections from clients when you start your sales process. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to get SMMA clients and agency clients and clients in general in 2024. Now, the reason I'm qualified to teach this, just before we get started, is I have taught over 8,000 people how to do this in the past 3 years. And in my first 13 months of business, when I started out as an entrepreneur, I went from zero to over $120,000 a month in profit. That's not revenue, profit. And this system that I'm going to describe here is the best system and the easiest system for you to use to get clients. Now, that being said, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is David. And if not, welcome back. So, that being said, the reason I'm making this video is because all of the videos that you see from a lot of these big agency guys, a lot of the guys who are teaching how to get clients, how to do all this SMMA stuff, and basically how to make money online with an agency or a service-based business, it's absolute brain cancer. It's brain rot. They use a lot of retention hacks, they use engagement hacks, and they're like, well, if you stay till the end of the video, I'll give you my script so you can opt into my funnel. Now, we're not going to do that here. I'm going to give you as much game as possible in this video. And this is a acquisition system that I developed myself to essentially eliminate buying objections from clients when you start your sales process. So if you know anything about me, you know that my background is in sales, and the biggest thing in sales is something called the pre-frame. This is before you go into your offer presentation or your value build, how you showcase the value of your service or your product that you're selling. And the pre-frame is used to eliminate all of the potential objections on the front end so that you don't run into as many objections or any objections on the back end. Now, if you've watched one of my other videos, and you probably haven't, but I did a video on something called sales assets. And sales assets are essentially your portfolio or your presentation that you can send over to potential prospects, potential clients, and potential customers. Now, I'm going to go through the way to do that here in this video, but basically, if you want to get more clients, you don't want to be utilizing all of this extra stuff, like paying for, $200 a month for a cold email software. You just want to do what I did in the previous video that I made, which was me exposing my $40 million sales process. And you just want to pick up the phone and you want to talk to people. You want to get your pitch right, and you want to start getting people on the calendar. You want to be sending them over information, and the information that you send is going to be your portfolio or your sales assets. Now, there's a few ways to do this. Number one, you can do a PowerPoint, you can do a sales deck, a slide deck, some sort of pitch deck that breaks down all of the different things about your service. But you can also do a Notion template. You can also do Loom videos and everything like that. I find that a Notion or a PowerPoint or a PDF is the best thing, because a lot of people are, especially me and a lot of business owners, are very skeptical about clicking links in emails. They're very skeptical about clicking links in text messages. And you want to make sure that you're just giving them all the information and it's not sketchy. Them to click on a PDF that they can open in their email or a PowerPoint is going to be a lot better than sending over a Loom link or trying to elicit some sort of response and, hey, click this link. Hey, here's this Google Doc. If you know anything, you know that Google Docs can be used to phish people, and that's PHISH, which is basically stealing information. And so a lot of people are skeptical, and a lot of people want to be very careful. Now, how do we actually go about breaking down this process? Now, if you don't have any experience and you picked an industry that you want to go into, or if you have a few industries or a few different things that you want to sell, let's say you're doing email marketing for e-com brands. I know that's a big thing right now, or you're trying to do copywriting, or you're trying to do some sort of advertising, whatever it may be. You want to go through a process, which is basically the process that I created. Within your presentations and within your sales assets and within this portfolio that you create, you want to break down what your service is. So number one is what your service is. Number two is why your service works. Number three is how your service makes money. And number four, what you can do is you can take examples of different industries and different businesses, and you essentially redo, whether it's their advertising or their ad copy or their video creative, or it's their emails, or it's their design, or it's their website, whatever it is that is specific to what you're selling. You want to break down in this last section of what they're doing currently. And you want to break down the thought process behind what it is that they're doing. Then, on the other hand, you want to compare it to your process. And you want to explain not only your thought process, because people buy the why behind why people do things. They don't just buy a service or they don't buy a product. People buy into other people. And when you break this process down, you talk about how your process is different and why it's better and why it's more advantageous to use versus using what they have already currently set up. Now, if you can do this effectively, you're able to walk you through this process. This is why we do these things. This is why it works. This is how it works. So you want to go through the exact 4-step process, and then in the why, talk about all of those things that you just talked about currently about your service and apply it to what it is that you're doing. Now, this works for every single industry. A lot of people right now in SMMA, like I said, it gives me brain cancer, it gives me brain rot. They teach stuff that worked in 2019. It is not as easy anymore to simply set up a cold email automation and blast out 10,000 emails a day, and then maybe you get a response with the same quick question subject line that everyone has just used and beaten to the ground. What's going to happen is you are going to find success by simply being more prepared, and being more prepared in terms of showcasing your process, being more prepared in your branding and having a better brand, and being able to really explain and describe the process of why what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're selling actually works and why you are the person. A lot of objections when it comes to running an agency, when it comes to getting clients and SMMA in general, is they just simply don't think that it's going to work. And I always say that there's only 2 objections, and this is something that you should really highlight and you should really work on within this sales asset or this portfolio or presentation that you're going to put together. The 2 objections are, I don't have the money, and the other objection is, I just don't think it's going to work. Now, a lot of people, they try to use smoke screens and say, oh, I need to think about it. The reason they need to think about it is because they simply don't think it's either worth the money, or they just simply don't think that you're the guy, or they don't think that it's genuinely going to work. If you knew, and I'm going to use an example here, if you had, let's say, a family member that was sick, and there was a life-changing surgery that would save their life, and the surgery was $100,000, regardless if you were broke, if you didn't have any money, I guarantee if you could save that person's life, you would be able to come up with 100 grand, or you would ask people, or you would start a GoFundMe, or you would do something in order to try to get the money to save that person you love's life. Your product, your service, you need to think about it in the same exact way. And I know that's a very extreme example, but you need to think about it in the exact same way as the example that I just described. Because a lot of people just simply aren't convinced. All of the sales pitches that I get, because I get a lot of them, especially on Twitter, because I have over 65,000 Twitter followers now, a lot of the people that pitch me 24/7, they pitch me with this garbage. They have 0 sales assets. They don't have any process. They can't explain why their process is better than the next guy that just pitched me with the other service. The same exact service. There's a few guys that do it really well. There's a few guys that use things that are industry specific, like for emails, like doing a free email deliverability audit. And there's a lot of things that work. That was working last year really well. And there's a lot of things that you can do in order to get that process and that sales process moving forward. That being said, the way you get clients is you put this stuff together as soon as you possibly can. You have a nice website, you have your branding set up, you have all of these different things set up in terms of you're presenting yourself as professionally as possible. And I don't care if you have 0 clients, I don't care if you never even have had any type of experience whatsoever in this business, you want to get started, you need to put this stuff together as soon as possible. Now, this stuff works because it generates my students literally millions of dollars across the board. Across all my students, they generate a few $1,000,000 a month, maybe more, I'm really not sure. But that being said, they are able to do this really well, and it works because you are presenting yourself as not only larger than life, you're presenting yourself as a professional, as someone who knows what they're doing, and someone who's an expert, even if you might not have any expertise whatsoever. You can use a lot of things, you can use a lot of resources. I have a ton of resources available, but that being said, All you need to do is put this stuff together, and you need to go out and then hit the phones, send emails, follow up, and get active, because activity breeds sales. And I can guarantee to you, if you take my sales methodology and if you take this, what I'm giving you in this video, and you put it into practice, I guarantee if you sit there and you make 1,000 calls and you get in contact with over 100 people, I guarantee you make some money, because it is literally that easy. Because your competition, and the competition that I see in this space, makes me very, very sad. The bar is literally beneath the depths of hell. No one knows what they're doing. I don't know who these people are learning from. And like I said, that's the reason why I'm going to be making these videos like this, and why I'm making this video right now, is because the bar is so fucking low that it is so easy to succeed in this marketplace, because all of your competition, it's not even saturated to the point of like, oh, it's hard to do business. It's saturated to the point where there's a whole lot of shit munchers in this industry and in this business who just absolutely suck, and they have no clue what they're doing, because they're learning from things that worked in 2019. That was 5 years ago. They're learning from people who have never done what they're actually teaching. And like I said, it's absolute brain rot. So if you want to be successful, literally put this stuff together, and all you need to do is use my sales framework. If you want the cold call script, you can click the link below this video. It'll take you to an opt-in page, and then you'll be able to get access to everything. There's also some bonuses that I added in there just to help you out and help you get moving forward. So all you need to do, put this stuff together, and you will be presenting yourself better than all of these other people in the marketplace, because every single other person in the marketplace sucks. They don't follow up. They're not on the phone. They're not getting active. They're not even trying. What they do is they just think that there is going to be some magic that's going to happen, and they're going to send a few DMs and they're going to get clients and they're going to make 50 grand a month. That is not what happens. If you want to get clients within 7 days, on day 0, you put your website together. You can use my software, Synthesis. I can put a link in the description as well. We have all the templates for you to get started. All you got to do is change your image and change everything and get that moving forward. There's a free trial in the description. You can use that, or you can use something like Card. You set up your domain, you set up your email address, you get your Google Voice phone number, and all you need to do, you start calling, and then you put this presentation together. Then what happens is, when you start to get on the phone, you're going to start to get objections. I want you to write down all of those objections, and I want you to genuinely sit there and think about, how can I create more of these, can I handle, not create, how can I handle more of these objections in the pre-frame of the actual sales process? Now, the objections are, well, oh, I'm not sure yet, I'm not convinced. In your sales process, in the initial portion, whether you want to make, if you want to make content, you want to make video content breaking down things, you can do that as well, and put that in the slide deck that you send over to people so that they can go watch it, or you can give them YouTube links and things like that, or you can put it on your website. All of these objections, if you're able to handle all of these objections, I guarantee you, you are going to have an easier time than all of these other people that you're competing against in the marketplace. Because the people in the marketplace that you're competing with suck, and they're absolute garbage, and it's very easy to be more successful than them. All it takes is a little bit of effort, and I guarantee if you do this for 60 days, you do it for 90 days, and you focus and you stick to the plan. It's very important that you stick to the plan. If you stick to the plan, you're going to make money, you're going to be more successful than everyone else you're competing against, and you're going to be able to build a real agency, a real SMMA business, a real service-based business where you have clients that love you and clients that pay you, and also you're going to be better than everyone that you're competing against. So with that being said, you can go ahead, you can get the sales script for the cold calling script, and also you're going to be able to get a free trial of Synthesis, my software. You can set everything up with your website and do that. If you want to go and use something else like Card, I highly recommend Card as well. I want to make these videos so that you can be as successful as possible, as fast as possible. I have been there, I have done it, and the things that I teach are not methods from 2019. They're not methods from 2021. They're things that work today because we are actively using them in the businesses. Me and my team are actively doing all of the things that I am teaching. So go ahead, click the link if you want it. If not, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.